Hello everyone, this is the retake. Mobile's been messed up again. But anyway, this is going to be basically Heart Castle's first opening event with Clover. It's the last one that we had to do, and then there's going to be like some following sequences where they talk about like where Alice is staying, and then we're going to transition. I basically translated about 800 pages to get us onto Pierce's route, so we're going to finish up the opening events right now. So here we go to Heart Castle. She's like arrived at Heart Castle. She's like, this is also different, ... The scenery around is very different from yesterday. Still, the castle has not changed. Like an amusement park or a clock tower that disappeared, she thinks. It is normal, ... Normally, buildings do not disappear overnight, though. That's normal and common sense for me. Common sense that is not valid at all in this world. Peter's like, come on, Alice. I'm happy to see you so soon when I just got up. He's like, oh, Alice, Alice, I love you, Alice. When I went to the castle, Peter appeared out of nowhere and called out. Little surprise now, Peter isn't lost as much as Ace. White Rabbit, Peter White. As the name suggests, this is a beautiful man of aesthetic appearance with a pair of rabbit ears on its head. Moreover, he is also a powerful man who serves as the Prime Minister of the Heart Castle. A cool and well-positioned person. She's like, and what a lovely bother, because he's fond of me, he wanted to tell me this now. If your mind is all right, so he's the only one. It translated a little weird, but she's like basically commenting on how he thinks of her, like how he wants her to think of him as the only one, because he's fond of her, and that he thinks of himself as a lovely bother to her. He's cool, well-positioned, and a dreamy and easy-looking guy for me, she comments. However, if you look only at the superficial things, that's the story. Peter's like, what did you do today? You came to see me, ? Is that right? I'm happy. His delusional self is like, now let's go to my room. Let's love each other as much as we want. Come on, come on, come on, he tells her. And she thinks to herself, the silent transformer, like 0 to 180. No matter how good he looks, the most important thing is the inside contents, and that doesn't change in people or rabbits, she thinks. On the surface, this guy is superb, easy, and affordable, or affable. If you peel its surface off, he's a sticky stalker, and he's a pervert. I don't have the courage to make this kind of pervert any more than a friend, she thinks, no matter how much I believe he looks good. He tells her, Alice, 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 I love you, his catchphrase. He's like, I'm really happy to see you come when the terrain is still unstable, and then trailed off. She's like, no, I didn't come to see you, she told him. And don't embrace me, it's painful. There seems to be some stress to his hug this time, but there is still no difference in the pain level. Striking at him for a while, including with the meaning of the protest that I was giving. I don't have much power, so I don't seem to be completely satisfied with my attempts, and I can't even see how I can listen to the man. Despite having a long and good pair of ears, this guy always doesn't listen to what other people say. And I don't want to make use of this kind of useless-eared person.
ほらほら、ペーターさん。彼女が嫌がってるぜ。そこら辺でやめといた方がいいと思うけど。
Ace says, look, Peter, she hates it. I think it's better to stop around there. And she's thinking to herself, ... Ace, because that's his name there. Ace appeared again from nowhere with a refreshing smile and inserted himself into the conversation. I'm not surprised, I'm not. I mean, I'm used to it, but I don't like it very much, she thinks. And knight, Ace, she continues. He is a knight of Heart Castle. He's a knight and is horribly strong. In addition to being strong, he has a high position as a military officer of the castle. However, the person himself doesn't seem to care about that at all, and there is nothing great about it to him. Friendly and refreshing, that's him. She thinks, yes, refreshing, always refreshing, and then she's like refreshing at any time, even when he's doing bad things. So she's like, it's cold in the air, meaning the atmosphere.
君も嫌なら言葉だけじゃなくて行動で示さないと。動物って言葉で言ってもわからないことが多いんだからさ。
Ace says if you don't like it, you just have to show it, but not only by words, but also by actions, because animals often don't understand, even if you say it in words. And he's trolling on, like, the fact that Peter White has, like, animal ears. She comments after a pause that yes, I'll be careful next time. Ace smiled and gave advice. At the same time as giving advice, though, she mentions, please stop trying to put your hand on your sword. And she's like, no matter how much you get used to this world, you don't want to be caught up with this kind of thing in front of you. Moreover, if it's a fuss, it's not really a problem that people here are disgusting just because they bring out guns and swords. Even if it is said that this is the normal and inevitable in this world, I want you to do it elsewhere if possible, she tells them. And she's like, that's more like it, exclamation mark. You were all right, rhetorically, she asked them, and she's like, no, I thought you were all right, but I was still worried, ... In order to divert the conversation, the topic is brought to my original purpose for being here.
おや、わらわのことが心配だったのか？相変わらず可愛いことを言うな。
Vivaldi's like, oh, were you worried about us and the warrior? As always, don't say cute things, Alice. Vivaldi, since when were you here? She thinks after a pause.
お前がホワイトに抱きつかれたあたりからだったかな。
I love Vivaldi. She just tells her, like, was it from when you were hugged by White? So, like, the very beginning.
分不相応にもわらわよりも先にお前に抱きついたから、どうしてやろうか考えていたところだ。
She was thinking about what she should do because, like, well, why shouldn't I do it also? Because I hugged you before the move, she mentions. And she comments to Vivaldi, help me before thinking of that. Speaking like it was sincere, Vivaldi gave an acknowledgement, and then she's like, I did not feel that she did this sincerely. Heart of the Heart, Vivaldi, the Queen of Heart Castle and the real castle's owner. Although she is a woman, she is the most powerful person, capable and beautiful in appearance. She is more complete with no extra options, such as rabbit ears. If such a woman is close to me, she is likely to fall into either an enviable state or one of longing. But she also had the same drawbacks as Peter, she thinks about their relationship. Unlike Vivaldi's faults.
やはり首をはねるしかないか。
Vivaldi cuts in and she's like, is there no other choice but to create a separated neck? Because she wants to hug Alice, I think, is what she's commenting here, and White's taking up the space.
だがこんなやつでも最小で役持ちだ。殺すわけにもいかぬし。しかし首をはねてしまいたいな。
She's commenting that she wants to, but she's like, this guy has a role here as minister, and then trails off, like she can't cut off his head. Cruel and ruthless, a queen who is always annoyed and tickles the heads of maids and soldiers with trivial things. So, like, basically perplexes the maids and soldiers with trivial requests. She's like, she is a dangerous person in a different sense than Peter is.
まあホワイトのやつの処遇はまた今度考えることにしよう。
Now she's mentioning like what she wanted to do with Ace. She's like, well, let's consider the treatment of White's guy again.
それよりわらわのことが心配でやってきたと言っていたが、何がそれほど心配だったのだ？
Vivaldi's like, more than that, Alice. You said that you were worried about me, but what was so worrisome? She's like, no, I wasn't worried about Vivaldi alone. Well, what's going on here? She's questioning them with spaces in between. She's like, I don't know what happened, so I'm worried about what you all were doing. And then trailed off. Sudden crustal deformation in the form of a disappeared clock tower in an amusement park playground, she thinks. The people who are staying at the Hat Mansion are hostile towards you, the ones at the castle, but as an individual, she says, I'm getting closer to you. However, because I am a friend, this is why I still care and worry. And I'm not going to be so cruel that I don't think that I have to worry about my friends when something strange happens. I'm not going to. And she trailed off there. She's like, what? Did I say something strange? And asked them. My close friends were all faced with a nuanced and subtle face-like expression that seemed strangely uniform. To put it simply, their faces looked like, what are you talking about, in quotations.
変なことと言いますか。あなたが何をそんなに心配しているのかよくわからないんです。何をそんなに心配しているんです。
Peter's like, what do you mean? I don't know what you are worried about, but what are you worried about? Question mark, question mark. And she's like, what? ... I just told you. She's like, the clock tower and the amusement park are gone. The terrain has changed, and things that I don't understand are happening, she tells them again. And then she mentions, so I'm worried if you're okay. ... Normally, buildings do not disappear with the land when you wake up. It's only natural to worry about friends in the whirlpool when something unusual happens. At least in my common sense, she mentioned.
おかしなことを言う子だね。何も不思議なことなど起こっていないではないか。引っ越したのだから地形が変わるのは当然だろ。
Vivaldi tells everyone that she says something strange. Something strange is happening, question mark. Isn't it natural that the terrain will change because I moved, question mark.
そうか。引っ越し。そういえば、あなたは引っ越しの経験がなかったんでしたね。なるほど。だからそんなに驚いているんですね。
Peter's like, yes, moving. Speaking of which, you haven't had any moving experience, exclamation mark, so I'm not so surprised about this. And she's like, why do you know that? Certainly I haven't moved, but I don't remember talking to Peter about it. This is a stalker rabbit, ... she thinks.
初めての引っ越しはどうでした？その様子だとずいぶん驚いたみたいですね。
Peter's like, how was your first move? It seems like it was a surprise to you a lot.
それで僕たちも驚いているんじゃないかって心配してくれたんですね。あなたに心配してもらえるなんて僕とっても感激です。
He tells her, that's why you are so surprised and worried, and I'm so touched that you are worried! ! And she mentions, Peter still doesn't listen to me. With such a long and fine pair of ears, Peter always does not listen to people at all. Even if he hears it, it is only a part that is convenient for him, or he interprets that which is inconvenient that way. It's too powerful, this effect that he has, and he has good ears.
でも帽子屋屋敷の人たちは君に引っ越しのことを教えなかったのか？それってすごく不親切だよな。
They start digging at the Hat Mansion people, and Ace is like, but didn't the people at the Hat Mansion tell you about moving? That's very unfriendly, he mentions.
君が引っ越しに慣れてないってことはあの人たちだって知ってるんだろ？
He stated that, did you know that those people are not used to moving? And then continued.
おやつと同意見だというのは腹立たしいが。
Vivaldi continues his statement by telling everyone it's frustrating to have the same opinion, like as Ace. ...
ほんに不親切なやつらだな。か弱いお前が驚き戸惑っているのに説明もせず放っておくなぞ。男のすることではないぞ。
She says they are really unkind guys. Even though you are surprised and confused, they shouldn't have left you without explaining. It's called not being a man. So she finished off Ace's statement. And Alice actually gets triggered. She's like, don't say bad things about Blood. And Blood explained it properly, she tells them. It's just because the content was something that's not common sense in my world.
でもあなたはきちんと引っ越しのことを理解することができなかった。それじゃ教えていないのと同じことですよ。
Peter says, but you didn't understand the move properly. Well, that's the same as he didn't tell you.
かわいそうな。僕が慰めてあげますから泣かないでください。
Peter continues, oh, poor Alice, don't cry because I'll comfort you. His delusional self.
ペーターさんってば目も悪くなっちゃったの？彼女は泣いてなんかいないよ。驚いてるし戸惑ってはいるみたいだけど。
And Ace cuts in. He actually comments on this, on the fact that Peter's being a bit of a creeper. He's like, ah ha ha, did you get worse, Peter? ? She wasn't crying. She was just surprised and confused.
さぞ辛い思いをしているんでしょう。あんな野蛮で愚かな連中と共に過ごさなければならないなんて。
Peter's like, oh, Alice, I'm having a hard time with this, so you have to spend time with those barbaric and foolish guys. And then he trails off because he's talking about the Hatter family. He suddenly comes to a shout that makes a fool about the people in the mansion. It's true that there are certainly a lot of irresponsible people, and then she's like, in parentheses, the first is the owner of the mansion, so Blood Dupree. And she's like, but I don't want to say this face to face to them. And they are a bit of a problem, but for me, they are important friends, she tells them, trying to defend the Hatter family. I am not an adult, or it's not so much that I'm an adult, but it's that I can't say bad things about my friends, and then laugh. And she's like, do you have to say that kind of stuff, ? After a long pause. She's like, Blood taught me about moving. Just because I didn't want to understand that was why I couldn't understand it with my own common sense. And she trailed off. And the people in the mansion are not barbaric or irresponsible. She's like, Blood certainly has a tendency to be a nuisance and is a bit whimsical, but at night he isn't too bad. He's crazy about tea, and I'm drinking so much tea that it makes me feel uncomfortable, but tea lovers are just like that. So she's trying to, like, still defend them, but she's getting, like, worse with her, like, praise statements. Elliot is often drawn to Blood, so, like, into his antics, but the job is still easy, and he is kind. She's like, even though he's a rabbit, he has insisted that he's not a rabbit, and this is to anyone. So, like, she wish-washes back and forth on, like, whether or not, like, she's complimenting them or, like, insulting them. Dee and Dum aren't eager for work. They don't feel like being too enthusiastic, but kids are like that. So the Bloody Twins, the gatekeepers, and she trails off. She's getting worse. And I don't think I can help with this, because I am also a child, and there are no jobs that make use of being a little child. She trails off again. And she's like, I'm still a child, so I can't help it, and they can't either. That's what I got out of that. And she's like, I like the people in the mansion, and I'm a good friend to them, ... And that's not a lie, otherwise I would not have remained in this world, and then discarded my old one until it was gone. She's like, that's why, ...
君それ褒めてるの？けなしているの？
Ace cuts into her, like, monologue, because she was trying to defend them to the castle people, and he's like, ah, haha, Alice, are you giving up on that now?
それとも褒めてるふりしてけなしているとか？
He then asked her, are you pretending to give up? Or, like, going for the killing? Like, is this a strategy?
ほう、高度な技術を使うな。だが回りくどすぎないか？もっとストレートにけなしてやればよいではないか。
Vivaldi gives her 2 cents. She's like, well, don't use advanced technology on this, Alice. But isn't it too much? ? Isn't it better to just go straight for the kill with your statement? She's like, I'm not afraid. And she's like, I am giving up, ... I'm trying to give up, she thinks. She's like, I just can't find a place to give up, she continues thinking. And of course, I think there are many good points to the Hatter family, but it's difficult to explain them to other people. Anyway, she tells them out loud, don't say bad things about everyone at the mansion, !!
どうしてですか？普通敵対している連中のことをよくは言わないでしょう。何をそんなに怒っているんです？
Peter asks her, well, why? Isn't it normal to say things about our hostile enemies as well? And they would do it to us, he's basically implying to her. And he's like, Alice, what are you so angry about? She's like, it's natural, and I understand that you're enemies, but I'm friends with you and also friends who live with the people or the same place as me. So she's like, and I'm friends with those who live in the same place as me. And if people say bad things about your friends, you usually get angry, ! She tells them.
でも君もけなしてたじゃないか。褒めてるふりしてけなすなんて高等技術を使ってさ。
Ace cuts in and he's like, is it? Like, is that normal? And he's like, I don't know, but if you're pretending to be complimenting them or, like, insulting them, then you're going, like, a roundabout way. He's basically saying right here.
君が悪口言うのはよくて、俺たちはダメなの？身内だから許されるってやつなのかな？
And he calls her out for the fact that her compliments were actually insults, because he's like, you're good to speak badly about them, aren't we? And she's like, that's why I'm not trying to do that. And as the saying goes, praise. She's like, if you can't say anything good, like, don't say anything. And she's like, yes, I was trying to praise them. I was trying very hard to have praise to give. She's like, good luck, really. I did my best. I did my best to find a place that I could give up, like, peacefully at. And she's like, ... I was actually about to do that. Like, to just stop trying to defend them. I could hear my words were filled with regret, and she's like, in fact, you can't stop losing on this. The context was so empty when trying to find, like, praise for them. ... And we're actually going to end the video here, you guys, because the next time it's going to be a couple mini scenes triggered before we go into Pierce's route.